Greetings, greetings, family. We are live. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Sister Shanice Show. As you can see, I've got two of my guests in the house today, and I've got a third guest who is just positioning her camera backstage. And we've also got Dr. Abu and Sister Sheila that'll be coming in the second half as well. So please spread the word. To this evening, I was quite busy, so I didn't get the chance as usual to put out the reminders and the notices. So please let everyone know that we are live. Just waiting for Anne-Marie to adjust her camera so that yes, and then we're going to be bringing in Anne-Marie. Okay, let's bring in our sister Anne-Marie here. And welcome. Okay, so family, spread the word. Sister Shanice in the house. Alongside my guest, we've got another really interesting discussion that we're going to be having today. Those of you who have seen the flyer, you will know that the topic that we're going to be discussing today is all about St. Vincent, the volcano eruption that happened, the situation on the ground. Our guests have got direct links with family members and the community on the ground in St. Vincent, and we really need our family to support. We're going to be asking, where is Mama Africa in all of this? Where is CARICOM? Not only did they have the volcano, but also, almost immediately after that, the rains and the storms came as well. And it has been absolutely atrocious. But, you're going to be hearing, family, about the situation on the ground. So welcome. Do blow us up in the chat as you come in. I can see that Orbia man in the house. Rise up, Orbia man. He's rising up, myself and the lovely guest in the house. And so, woman for kill. No, not for kill, for love. All right, Orbia man. Woman for love. Rising up. The Junkra man, the Jamaican man as well. Jamaican Junkra channel. Rise up. You say, one warrior man. Them are chatting in the house as well. So rising up the family as you come in. Please do let us know that you're in the house. Give us a thumbs up, give us a like, and also let us know where in the world you're actually watching us from. And also, just to let you know, as you're coming in, about the topic that we've got lined up for next strong. You may say weak, but we say strong here. Okay, we have got a topic that's going to be looking at institutional racism in the UKKK. Is it dead or alive? That's the question that we're going to be asking. Racism in the workplace, we're going to be looking at that as well in the USA, from the USA to the UKKK, actually. So we've got our brother Geb, who's going to be joining us from the USA. We've got our sister, Dr. Vivian, who's going to be joining us from the UK. They're going to be sharing their experience with us of working in the UK, at quite high levels, on what it's actually like, for us as people of color working within the white mainstream, and having to deal with the challenges of racism, having to navigate their way, in the corridors of power, so to speak, being a person of color. So we're going to be looking at their experiences and the challenges that they've had, how they've had to deal with the challenges, and we're hoping that their story is going to be inspiring. Others who might be going through similar situations may want to know how to deal with racism in the workplace. And our sister, our Dr. Vivian, she's actually pursuing her case all the way through to the European courts after not having had the satisfaction that she would have expected to get at the UK level. So this is really taking it all the way, family. And, she's paving the way. She's paving the way for all of us and for everyone. Okay, so that is next strong. But today we're going to be focusing on St. Vincent, and we'll go over to our guests in just a short while, just giving you a couple of minutes to come through the door. Rise up, Sister Verna, in at the house. Rise up yourself, Sister Afri Jamo. Rise up yourself as well. She's rising up, myself and the panel. She's watching us from Ghana. Great to know. We got Donna in the house. Donna, where are you watching us from? Let us know. So panel members, If you've got any other audio on in the background, please put it on mute so that we don't get any interference, or put your laptop or your phone on mute so we don't get any horrible screeching sounds. Thank you so much. So okay, so we're going to get off to a cracking start now. I'm going to ask my guests, firstly, just to introduce themselves to you, tell us a little bit about who they are, and can the other speakers put their phone on mute? Let's bring in Sister Denise, first of all. Rise up. Welcome, Sister Denise.
Hi, good night. Thank you so much, Sister Shanice, for having me. And it's a pleasure meeting you beautiful ladies for the first time. So thank you so much.
Welcome, Denise. I wonder if you'd like to just say a little bit about who Denise is.
Yes, well, I was born in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and grew up in Canada, but have been going back home often to visit family, and had the experience of, a long-term, lengthy stay home due to, our father's passing, as well as COVID, and then the volcano erupting. So that was a very interesting, couple of months that we spent home, and we were able to see, a lot more of what we're used to seeing in that short period of time. And it was disturbing, beautiful, wonderful, at the same time, but very disturbing, what we see, what's going on in our community, and just in general, what's going on in St. Vincent and how people are suffering over there.
We're going to, talk a lot more about that in a little while. But welcome, Sister Denise. Let's go over to our Sister Anne-Marie. Welcome, Anne-Marie. And if everyone else can put their phone on mute, please. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Lovely to see you ladies. Hetty, as usual. I'm Anne-Marie. I was born here in England. My parents are from St Vincent, so I've got Vincentian heritage. I started a little charity before the volcano erupted, helping the people back home. So my love has changed, and it's to help the people of St Vincent.
Wonderful. Well done to you, my sis. And welcome to the Sister Shanice Show. And let's welcome our Sister Hetty. Welcome, Hetty.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for having us. You're doing a great job. Of course, I am from St. Vincent as well. I grew up there. I go back every year. I go to see our Denise and I, father. We go and see our parents. So I do know exactly a little bit of what goes on. And so 2019 was a very interesting one for me. As Denise explained, we spent quite a considerable long time there, managed to see the health system, the political system, then the volcano. So it's for me, it's really sad, and it's very heartbreaking at the same time. And I'm angry at the same time too, all of it. What is happening to our people, especially our Indigenous people of St. Vincent, who been marginalized for years and still continue to do so. And now I think it's time to stop. That needs to stop.
Thank you so much for that introduction there, Sister Hetty. And we're going to be coming back to you in a very short while, because we want to know, about the Indigenous people of St. Vincent. There may well be some of our viewers who didn't know that there were sort of Indigenous people there, so to speak. There is this assumption that most of us were actually brought to the Caribbean from Africa, directly from Africa. But of course, when some of us arrived on the shores, there were already some Indigenous people who managed to survive, the hell of a course, the genocides that were probably happening at some point in time. So we're going to come back to you in just a short while. Just want to go back to the chat and welcome our viewers. Obiaman, yes, Simasa Iri, Rise Up, Kimani, culture in the house. So greetings, Kimani culture. Welcome, Cherry B, rising up the family. Rise up the drunker man, rising up already in the house. and Natural Mystic. Yeah, saying greetings, family. Last week I learned the MP son of St Vincent sent a young sister to mental home for making comments about their affair. My gosh, when you've got, politicians' sons who, have that level of power, it's very concerning indeed. It doesn't sound from that comment that due process took place, but I'm sure we'll be hearing about the political situation in St. Vincent from people who have that knowledge from on the ground, so that we can get more of an insight into what the situation is. So, rise up, family, and good to see you all rising up each other. We've got a family in the chat, that come regularly to the Sister Shanice show every strong, and they network with each other and have their own conversation going on and popping. So they're just greeting each other in the chat as well. Cherry B's watching us from the UKKK in Birmingham Strong. Thanks for letting us know. So let's go back to our guests now, because I'm changing the format today slightly, because I want to, in the first half of the shows, give our guests the opportunity to present to us exactly what the situation is in St. Vincent. And then we're going to bring in Dr. Abu and Sister Sheila for the second part of the show, where we're going to go into, our dynamic debate style that we're all very familiar with here on the Sister Shanice show. But, because this topic requires quite some space and time, I wanted to allow our guests to have, the opportunity to present. So let's start with Sister Hedy, shall we? First of all, Sister Hedy, over to you. But please do start with giving us a bit of a background in terms of who are the Indigenous people in St. Vincent, and then please go on to share with us what's happening and what happens and what's happening.
The Indigenous people of St. Vincent, who you call the Kalinago, and they came down from the Sebone and the Tainos. And of course, they've been battling against the colonists, the British invasion when they came to St. Vincent, and when they basically want to annihilate us. And the Kalinago is the one who fought against the British. Remember, St. Vincent was the last Caribbean island to be colonized. So we fought, they tried to annihilate us basically. And I usually put it now, my sister and I, we came up with that recently. We are the forgotten ones, because you would hear of the Garifuna. But the Garifuna is African slaves who escaped, as well as who was shipwrecked in the Caribbean and came to St. Vincent. And St. Vincent was like the refugee camp for the rest of the Caribbean islands and for the escaped slaves. And so they would...
I'm sorry, I really must intercept there. We don't call the Africans that got kidnapped and brought to the Caribbean slaves. They were not slaves. They were either enslaved Africans or kidnapped.
Africans.
Kidnapped people, kidnapped children. Thank you. Sorry, I won't interrupt.
That's all right. That's okay. But our race, the Kalinago, was very kind. So we integrate them in our community, and we taught them all the skills they need to know. So a lot of people would hear of Garifuna, but Garifuna is a mix of Kalinago and of African. So as I said, we are the forgotten ones. You would hear now of Garifuna, but you don't hear of Kalinago, and we do still exist in St. Vincent. And we live on the northern side of St. Vincent, a place you call Sandy Bay, called better known as Carib Country, or AKA Behind God Back, because that's how they see us. And so we've been marginalized in St. Vincent itself for years. We were treated less than, and still 400, 500 years later on, up to this day, we're still the same. And we are the people who are affected directly by the volcano. These are the people who lose their home, who are to evacuate to the camps. And you go to the camps, or the shelters, they want to call them, and you are treated even less than less, I would put it. And so hence why I am of Kalinago heritage. I'm a proud Kalinago woman. My sister is. And so on that, for me, when I go back to St. Vincent, when I've been visiting all the time, I saw the plight of my people. And when now being in St. Vincent during the political side of things, and even before the politics, and we begin to do research of our ancestors and different things, it was so heartbreaking. It was really, really heartbreaking. And for me, it was really frustrating. And I got very angry that our people still 2021 been treated like this. And then you have the politics that came in that time. And you could see the division in our people politics. And we know not just this government, the government before failed us. But this one, oh my God, is to put the cherry on the cake, is worse. The treatment is worse than the ones we had before. And it really needs to stop. So we're the people who lost our homes. So when you see that the television and they show the devastation of St. Vincent wasn't devastated. St. Vincent, the whole of St. Vincent got ash. But the part that they show on the television, they milk for all it worth. The part that they milk for all it's worth is my village, is where I come from. That is Sandy Bay. That is Carib country. And the people up to this day is still not getting help. Up to last night, I was on the phone. I keep in contact with everybody I know in my village. Still no help. Yet they're sending them back home to the red zone with no food. They haven't rehoused anybody. They haven't repaired anybody homes yet. But yet they're sending them back home from the shelters because they need the shelters to start school in October. But they're repairing the shelters. It's really crazy. They're repairing the shelters. But before the money came in for the Kalinago people, the shelters were not repaired, and they were, in terrible condition. So the money that's supposed to be used and spent to rehouse our people is now easy to do other things in the country. Yet our people is still left on the sidewalk and left still begging for help. And we know if any help, if they're going to get any help, is going to be the crumb from the crumb, if anything at all, they're going to get. And this is not a joke. This is not, I'm saying it because I'm angry. It is the reality. It is the truth. And I see it as wickedness to the core.
Yes, my sis. While you were speaking, I actually showed one of the pictures that you'd sent me. And you mentioned that the area that has been affected the worst, the most, was actually the area where where your indigenous people are. The please pronounce the name again.
Kalinago. Kalinago.
Kalinago. So it's the region where the Kalinago people are, in the majority, that has been directly impacted and affected, far worse than any other region. Your area was the red zone area.
Yes.
And you mentioned the shelter as well that, has been provided or had been provided for some of the people who were able to reach the shelter. And you sent me a little video of that. So I'm just going to share that video now and share the screen, and hopefully I will be able to play it. I don't normally do this, so let's see if it works.
I'm heading into the bathroom. This is the bathroom facility where we're being housed.
So this is the shelter, family.
This is the washroom.
This is the condition.
My skin is going to scratch so much. My skin is
This is where they expect us to take a shower with no running water. We have to try to fill up buckets. This is a bucket that we got. We found this bucket because there's no buckets, as there is no running water. You have to borrow buckets from other people. And we just enjoyed a lovely meal, which was disgusting. And no juice left. Yet they know exactly how many people. Turn it on.
No, there's no water.
Turn it on.
There's no water. No water.
And this is the sink where we're supposed to brush our teeth. This is the women's bathroom where they're housing us, and they said they were prepared for us. This is prepared for us. Stay tuned. Stay tuned to Ralph's amazing shelters that he's offered the indigenous peoples of St. Vincent,
the Grenadines.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
So we have to find water and bring it back here to be able to bathe. If not, we have to go outside in public, over down there and bathe. So stay tuned. We'll be updating.
So you've got an insight there, family, into what the conditions of the so-called shelter look like. And, you know, as the person who was doing the camera there said, you know, they were supposedly prepared for them. And, you know, these are women who like to, you know, need running water, you need proper sanitation, you know, need proper bedding, etc. And these are the conditions that have been provided for the women. And Sister Denise, I wonder if you could just let us know, how much has the government received so far to provide shelter and housing and whatever is needed for the people of St. Vincent, the Kalinago people, please?
The government has received billions. I've researched it, how many millions of dollars they've gotten from they've gotten from the UN, they've gotten from the UK, they've gotten from Canada. It's ridiculous how much money that they've gotten, along with supplies, along with food, and nobody, the people that are in need, are not getting it. So we've heard of food expiring and going bad because it's being stockpiled. So, you know, we were in the shelters. That was us. That was me videotaping. We stayed in the shelters ourselves. So that was my sister and I, our experience in the shelter. So the first night we got there, we were full of ash. And the first question we were asked was, did you bring 3 days worth of food and some utensils? That was the first question.
I thought someone had sent the video over. I didn't realize that you were actually there at the time when the volcano erupted.
Yeah, we were there. So that was our experience in the shelter.
How frightening that must have been.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hedy, for opening up the discussion on this. Denise, let me allow you to take over, my sister.
Yes. So like Hedy was saying, it's, you know, the way that our people are being treated, the Kalinago people, and how they have been treated since the beginning, since Columbus, things have not changed for us. We're still living in Columbus times. We're still living in colonist times. We are the poorest of the population, you know. We're the last to get anything if we receive anything. And how St. Vincent works and the politics works, it's all based on bullying, based on corruption, based on favor, based on bribery. So that's why a lot of our indigenous people are afraid to speak out, because there's repercussion for that. If you speak out against the government, then you will not get help from the government, you know. So for an example, we have, one of our sisters from our village. She talked to one of the MPs, and I guess they were in the area assessing the situation, and she was told directly by Mr. Montgomery Daniel, who is our MP and a so-called Kalinago himself, told her to stop bad-mouthing the government and maybe she'll get help rebuilding, to her face. And it's blatant, you know, so it's crazy. So and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah.
No help seems to be coming.
Not at all.
And you've set up a GoFundMe page, haven't you?
Yes.
And we really, really do need, you know, family, you to try and help and support. This GoFundMe page, what would that money be used for?
Well, we want to, you know, use it for everything. Like right now, what is desperately needed is food, clothes. You know, people have lost everything. Some people have no roofs, some people have no houses, whatever little they did have. You know, there's hurricane season as well. So we only didn't get hit by the volcano. We got hit by Elsa and the heavy rain. So you have floodings, washing aways, you know, people are flooded out. So whatever little they did have got flooded out. So it's really, really, it's it's a war zone down there. It really is.
Wow.
And like my sister said, Ralph Gonzalez, which is our prime minister, has people moving back to the red zone, and who are left back in the shelters are the indigenous. Those are the ones directly from Carib country. Those are the last ones left back because they have nothing to go back to. So they're being sent back with no aid again. So you have people just trying their best and doing whatever they can do to survive and try to clean up any which way they can and move forward. That's, you know, unfortunately, that's the only choice they have. You know,
it's really, really awful. Yeah. Let's go over to Sister Anne-Marie. Sister Anne-Marie, welcome to the discussion. You did mention you set up a charity. I don't know if you're in touch with people on the grounds and what the impact has been for your family members or your people on the ground. I wonder if you could share that with us, please.
Well, the people that I'm in touch with. They're lucky enough. Or unlucky, they weren't in the red zone, so they've just been affected by the ash, and the poverty level in St Vincent is quite high. So I'm in the process of helping 4 different parts of the island. Sandy Bay is one of them. So at the moment, my priority, we've got loads of clothes. People have donated so much clothes, which has been fantastic. But what we really need, as Denise says, we need food, and we need help with paying for the barrels to be sent over. So at the moment, my priority is Sandy Bay. So that is where the first lot of barrels will be going out, hopefully the ending of this month. But as the ending of this month is quite near, most likely the beginning of next month, we'll be sending out food and clothes for them. And also on my GoFundMe page, we'll be also sending money to Hetty's got people on the ground there in Sandy Bay that we can liaise with them, and they can help people who we know needs help, because not everybody in those particular parts need the help. They're getting the help, but they don't really need it, and there's people who need it. So we're dealing with that. So first of all, it's Sandy Bay. Then I'm going to be helping people in Vermont, people in Diamond, and also people in Evesham.
Yeah, and they certainly do need the help. You know, family, if you see some of the images, let me just show you another one of the images that I have been sent. You know, this is, you know, what the area looks like at the moment. That looks like flooding on top of ash.
Exactly.
I wonder if someone can talk to this image. Where is this, please?
This is, again, in Sandy Bay. All these images are from Sandy Bay, our area.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, dreadful. And, you know, what was the loss of life like? I mean, did people actually lose their life, or were the people very fortunate not to have managed to have survived?
We're resilient. Yeah. Go ahead, sis.
Sorry. Yeah. No, but there was no loss of life.
Wow.
But what you have to understand is when the government issued the evacuation statement, or however you want to put it, that day, he issued it at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So people who has transportation in the village evacuate themselves. So for instance, there's a young man who was a van, and he took his family to the lower end of the red zone, where place called Georgetown. And then he went back. He made trips back and forth and evacuate people. The government did not provide any transportation. You gotta understand that. People evacuate themselves. And the government, what they did, they organized within the community for those who support the government, who had transport. And you had a meeting area. And when you got to the meeting area, there was a clipboard with names.
The list.
If your name did not call, you did not get on that transport, because that means that you're for the other party.
So even it became political.
Even in a crisis where people be running for their life, it is political.
Yeah. So people were turned away because they didn't support
the party,
the party that is in power right now, Ralph Gonzalez and the ULP.
I mean, that is just so awful to think that, you know, in the midst of this devastation, you know, where people are in a helpless situation, that the government is going to pull, you know, political strings like this.
Exactly.
And of course, you know, the money that it has been given to help and support the people, you would expect the government to be using that money for those most in need. There was a comment in the chat. Somebody was asking about the president or the prime minister who got licked in the head with a breadfruit. Was it a breadfruit?
It was a little stone. So they say he got licked in the head with a little stone.
So tell us about that. I mean, that image, you know, got plastered around the world. Obviously, a lot of dissatisfaction. You know, just tell us a bit about the sentiments and the way people are feeling right now.
For me, it's, you know what, he's the biggest instigator and perpetrator of violence. So what do you expect, right? People are tired. People are fed up. They can't take it anymore. So karma. Yeah. That's my take on it.
Yeah.
But that didn't just get about because of that, because we have a lot of injustice in the people.
Exactly. It's not just that. It's been building up for years, you know, for years. Over 21 years he's been in power. So you can just imagine, people are tired. People are exhausted. People are dying. Literally, people are dying in this country because of him. You know?
We could see from the image there that, you know, there was ash absolutely
That
everywhere.
was Sandy Bay, an aerial view of Sandy Bay.
Right. Yeah. And then there was the hurricane, so the floods come. It might have washed some of that ash away and washed it out to the sea. But then obviously with flooding, there's another level of devastation again.
Exactly.
You know, although people may not be getting any of the benefits directly, what about the infrastructure? What's happening there? Is there rebuilding going on? We're 4 months on now. Is there rebuilding happening?
Not at all. We have roads that have been mashed up from 2017 that haven't been fixed. 2013, well. 2013 that haven't been fixed. So we know, the Kalinago people know not to expect anything. Things are gonna just stay exactly as is. They're gonna have to get up and get, as they usually do, as, you know, the resilient people they are, and fight their way through it and try to survive to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
You know?
So it really is up to us to try and help the people, because clearly, you know, the government seems to have just be ignoring the situation. Feels as though they're not his constituency members, they're not his voters. And so, you know, is prepared to just leave them to suffer in the situation that they find themselves in. That is just so wicked. So wicked. Let me bring in Dr. Abu, who's backstage here, who's been listening to your presentation. Dr. Abu, you know, you've heard from the sisters. Wow, wow, wow. First of all, welcome, Dr. Abu.
Welcome.
Good family, and rise up to the Empress, them, you know. And as I say it, you know, we as African people, you know, every day we live in a horror story. It's like we're in a horror movie, you understand, you know. And rise up the sister when she talk about the Kalinago people, you know, because those people play a great role in the Haiti revolution, you know. A lot of people doesn't understand.
Is it?
Yes, my brother, yes.
Tell us about it, Dr. Abu.
No, what the sister said, is one of the last islands to be colonized. This is where all the revolution, them train and a lot of things done on that place. You understand? We must study military science and come out of the political science. That's why the leader in St Vincent and the Grenadines, you understand, can use in belly politics upon the people. You understand? You know, it's the same thing happening in Haiti. Then get money and they don't spend it on the people. It's the same thing happening in Jamaica, Barbados. I can go right through, man. You have to understand, you don't have a government. You have a franchise that run by the corporation. You understand? You know? You know, look at the constitution of these islands. And the constitution does not benefit the people. It benefits the corporation. You know? They have paramilitary force there that should be going in to defend the people. There are more. You have more St. Vincent's dead from the paramilitary force and the Coast Guard than any enemy outside, and that go right to all the islands then. You know, so and we have to see the role that the woman then play in these crises, you know, because without some strong woman on that island, I don't know what will happen to our people. You understand? Well, first of all, we have to rise them up. You understand? Because it's the same thing, as I said, I go back to the Haitian revolution, you know, and you have to understand that they never just come from Haiti alone. Just like Bookman Duty, he was coming from Jamaica. You understand? You know, and you have to realize that all the island them structure, you know, the Barbados them can't say them don't have Kalinago people there. Partly the island have them, you know, but it's not in the history book. You will never pass an exam on those things, you know. So no matter where we are, man, we have to just think about our people. No matter, you understand, because we are children of the kidnapped people, you know. And some of us can remember where the ship dropped us off, but we can't remember where it take us from. And even where it take us from, don't even remember us, because of the AU send any help to you. Which African country, which one of these African country send any aids to you in St. Vincent? I would really like to know. You understand?
No, not at all.
You understand? Because anywhere we are, my people, whether we are in America or Europe or the Caribbean or Africa, we're still under the colonial virus. And we have to fight it, because it is a virus, a deadly, nasty virus. And a lot of our people are addicted to white privilege. And they will kill each other to be like European. You know, so we have to just stick together. We's all we have. We don't have no other friend than we. And if we don't understand, and then, you know, just voodoo my people and just stick to our African principle. You know, stick to our ancestors. These are the things that will help us, because when you look and see the population of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and realize that the majority are Christians, so where is Jesus to help them? Where is all of these? Most of these islands, they have all of these things. You understand? But what we do, we worship our own galas, and we don't know that. Voodoo.
Vudum, Dr. Abu, rise up every time. And thanks for that bit of history there. And if anyone wants to elaborate on that, I'll bring you in a little while. Family, those of you who are in the chat, if you want to ask any questions of the sisters, make any points, feel welcome to do so. You know, they were on the ground when the volcano erupted. You know, so they can tell you firsthand, and they're sharing with you firsthand what actually happened out there in St. Vincent. And they're in touch on a daily basis with family members and friends who are suffering on the ground. I was sent another video of someone who was having to walk because there's no transportation, has been walking and walking to try and find shelter, to try and find some assistance. And we've heard from Sister Anne-Marie. There's a lot of clothes have been donated. Also, but now what's needed is food. Let me give you an idea, family, of the food items that you could be sending, and then we'll get some information about, you know, how they could get that food. And if you're not nearby, because I know we've got people watching from all around the world, maybe you can send some money. It would be so much appreciated, because they've got to get these items to St. Vincent as well. So if you're able to pick up some dry rice, while you're out shopping, some extra dried peas, cooking oil, noodles like macaroni and spaghetti and lasagna, tin foods like tuna, sardines, corned beef, luncheon meat, oats, cornmeal. You know, if you could pick up any of those sorts of items. Also sanitary items like soaps and children's diapers and washing things, you know, any of those sort of stuff would be greatly, greatly appreciated. And if you're in London, Brother Delani's shop, Rye Lane, Peckham, just let him know it's for the St Vincent appeal. And we are going to ensure that those items actually reach the sisters so that they can package them and send them over. Now, they've got an appeal going, and I will put the appeal, link to the appeal in the bottom of the description box, but it's also in the chat as well. Let me repost it so that it is here. Now, when I did my show on the radio earlier this morning, I think there was about only $275 in that appeal, only $275. So, you know, we're really appealing to the family because we're saying we've got to do better. We've got to do better. You know, we can't see our family members suffering and not want to help in any way. We managed to get the appeal up to 560. There are 14 donors now. That was up from 5 donors when I started my show earlier on the radio. And a number of people have also contacted me because they're unable to do the online transaction to GoFundMe. So they're sending money to me personally, to my bank, and then I am forwarding that onto the sisters, and I will give them the list of people who've donated, how much has been donated, and the contact numbers of those who have made a donation so that they can in turn message the person and thank them and confirm the amount that has been received. Okay, so please, you know, if you're able to help, we've got 100 people watching. If each of you was to just give £5, just £5, family, that would be such a great help, you know, to our people. They would be able to use that 500, it will take it up to £1,000 to send down, you know, a few barrels, maybe even be able to work towards sending down a container load of stuff. Well, in fact, the way the politics are down there, better they just stick to sending the little barrels that may not, you know, get to the attention of the authorities. The container may well bring in some challenges. We've just lost our sister Anne-Marie there, but I'll bring her back in as soon as she comes in. We've got Brother Delani in the house. Welcome, Brother Delani. Brother Delani has given us the full address for his shop. He is at ADE Photographic Printers. It's a print shop and a t-shirt design and making shop. Okay, so go down, meet our Brother Delani, see his shop, see the wonderful works that he does down there, do some business with him, and also at the same time you can drop off your donations. You know, he's been collecting donations for us for many years. Very trustworthy brother. You know, he'll collect the donations of money or donations of food and clothing, and he will hand it directly to the sisters, okay? Because they're going to be making arrangements to collect that from Brother Delani. So we've got our sister Anne-Marie back. Welcome, Black, my sis. We lost you for a short while there. Rise up, Brother Delani. Thank you so much for the great works that you do in our community and for all of the support that you always offer. Sister Afrijamo, yeah, she was asking for your contact details for the shop in Rye Lane, Peckham. And yeah, there you have it. And you said, please can we take their donations there? Yes, you can take your donations to Brother Delani's shop as well. And Sister Sinavia, sorry for pronouncing your name wrong. Sister Sinavia is asking how much in dollars. You know, you can $5, you know, $10, whatever you can afford would be greatly, greatly appreciated. I've just posted the link again in the chat that will take you directly to their GoFundMe appeal. Let's try and get that appeal money up before the night is out. Let me bring back one of the sisters while I plug in my computer as well. Sister Denise, please tell the listeners how the appeal money will be spent.
Well, with the appeal money, we want to start by getting the basics going, getting food, like Sister Anne-Marie had mentioned, you know, we have to pay for those barrels to ship them down. You know, it's going to take, we have our locals who will bring it up to Sandy Bay and to the areas needed, you know, and distribute it. But again, that takes gas money and so forth. So there's costs, you know, associated to that, as well as, you know, starting to help getting some equipment for rebuilding and cleanup, you know, so shovels, you know, different necessities that they're going to need for that, you know. So a lot of people are going back up and they have nothing, you know, they're using little shovels and makeshift, you know, tools that they can try to clean off the ash. And what a lot of people don't realize as well is the ash accumulated to about 13 centimeters of ash. So when that rain is added on top of the ash, it doesn't wash away. It becomes concrete. It becomes hard.
Wow.
So imagine all of that being on your roof, having to dig that out, you know, manually labor yourself. So that's another, you know, the next step that we're going to anticipate that, you know, our community will need help with cleanup and rebuild, you know. So it's going to be a continuous, you know, effort and continuous work to try to help as time goes by. And as well, we don't know what's going to happen with the weather and the current, you know, situation. And what a lot of people don't know is, you know, the volcano has not erupted. It's still to erupt. So the small dome, all the damage has been done by the small dome. There's the big dome that still needs to erupt, and they don't know when that could happen. That could happen tomorrow, or it could happen in 9 years. So this is an ongoing thing. This is not something that's gonna be over, you know? So.
Has the threat of the eruption been there like for hundreds of years, or, you know, is it usually a calm and peaceful volcano? What has the situation been? Why the sudden eruption? Any ideas or thoughts on that?
Yeah.
It erupted very badly. It's 2021 is close to 1902.
Yeah,
in 1902, it erupted very, very badly. And the people who were affected as well is the Kalinago people. A lot of people died there then, because of course we didn't know of the volcano. And so in 1979, it did erupt again. But eruption was not as bad as this one. There was ash, but not this amount of ash. I was young and I experienced that myself. And not even that, the evacuation, although the eruption was on a Good Friday, the 13th of April, a Good Friday, about half an hour, the government who was in power, about half an hour, there was transportation on the ground to take people to the green zone. Half an hour. Now, this government had 10 months, but they would deny 10 months. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt. So they had 4 months to prepare for us, 4 months. So they announced it in December. So they had December, January, February, March. Let's leave April because it erupted on the 9th of April. And they had allocated money, supposedly, for the people. But when you get to the camp, of course, they didn't provide no transportation when the volcano erupted. You get to the camp, there was no water. There was no tanks filled with water on the sites. There was no food. There was no COVID protocol in place. There was no water to wash hands. There was nothing, absolutely nothing. So that's why I said this government hated us. He want us to die in Sandy Bay. He didn't want to see us out. Because you've got time. If you have time to prepare, surely you would prepare something, because you know the volcano is going to erupt. The volcanologist said that. So if you know the volcano is going to erupt, and you said you prepare campsites for us, then where is the water? Where is the food? Where is the bed? Nothing. Nothing was prepared for us.
It's as if he's just totally abdicated his responsibility and his duty towards your community. So he should not have been given a penny.
Exactly.
For the red zone region. You know,
but he got 95 million.
Sorry?
95 million is one check. 95, that's just one check, though. Where's the other millions?
95 million. And none of that money has been spent on the most affected area, you know, in the region. It's absolutely scandalous. It really is dreadful, you know. So, you know, family, again, it's up to us to have to, you know, do what we can to support our people. And you know, family, when when we give a little, our people make a little go a long, long way. Yeah, and if it's even one shovel your money can buy, that shovel will be used by 5, 6, 10 families. Yeah, that shovel will use until it can't use no more. So every little will definitely help. Okay, we have someone in the chat that's asking if you've got a PayPal or a Zello. I don't know what the Zello is, but something about the GoFundMe being in CAD. Where is that message? That message is here somewhere. Do you have a PayPal, or here it is, or a Zello?
No, we don't. We could get
details, because I've also got a GoFundMe as well. Sorry to interrupt. I've also got a GoFundMe, so I can send that to you as well.
Oh, okay. Okay, perfect.
Right. So your GoFundMe, would that is that different from Denise and Hedi's GoFundMe in terms of the setup? Is there a PayPal link in yours?
No, there's not a PayPal link in mine. No, because don't forget, I'm helping at the moment. I'm helping Sandy Bay first, but then I'm also helping different parts of the islands as well. So when I'm collecting the food and stuff, it's also being distributed through different parts of the islands as well.
Right. Yeah, if you can post the link for your GoFundMe as well, we'll put that in the chat as well. But I think that the picture that we're getting here is that the most affected area is the Sandy Bay area. I can see we've got Sister Sheila in the background. Let's bring her to the front. Rise up, Sister Sheila. How are you doing?
I am fine, thank you. Rise up. I'm glad to be here. Rise up, my panelists. It's an honor. I give thanks.
Welcome. And I hope that you were able to hear, listen to the presentation by our sisters about what the situation is in St Vincent. First of all, please introduce yourself to those who may be meeting you for the first time, Sister Sheila, and then we welcome your comments on what's happening in St Vincent at the moment.
I am Sheila Clebert. I am from Kenya, the motherland, Africa, but today I come to you from the UKKKK. I never know what K to stop at, so I just say UKKKK. I am a life coach running my own life coaching school called Gene Coaching School. And in this school, we look at things from the Afrocentric lens. It is all about being African and seeing the world as an African and living proudly and unapologetically as an African. So it is an honor to be on a platform like this, whereby I talk to more of my people. Great honor indeed. Rise up, Dr. Abu. Rise up, my sisters that are here today to represent St. Vincent's. I give my thanks for being the voice of our people. My comments are just messages of hope to say that, you know what, devastating things can happen in the environment. They can ruin our people's lives at that point in time. But we do rise up. When we say rise up, it is just not an empty sentiment. We do rise up. As a people, we are very stoic. We are very resilient. We are thrivers, not just survivors. We are thrivers. We thrive even through great adversities. And at moments like this, we need to come together as a united front. And when we come together, we make things lighter for the rest of us that are going through these things. And at the same time, we end up knowing the lessons that are meant to be learned from things like this. When they happen, they are not always in vain. There's always some salient lessons that we can pick from them. So for the people of St. Vincent's, you are not alone. We are here across the globe. We stand with you. And that is why we are having a show like this, so that the message can be out there. Because the mainstream media may not put this message out there. Actually, it will not put the message out there. Or if it puts the message out there, it will not be the correct message. So we have platforms like this where the correct message goes out there and the right help is channeled to the right people. So big up my sisters for standing for our people. And we are here. And thank you for bringing this message forward for all of us here to hear about it. Thank you. I give thanks.
We give thanks. Thank you so much, Sister Sheila. I want to thank you in the chat as well. We've had a couple of donations. Rise up to those who've just donated. Sister Hazel's just donated. Thank you so much. And Phil Gunsman, Gunsam has just donated as well. Thank you so, so much. So that's proof that the GoFundMe is working. So please, let's try and get the donations up. We're up to 580 now. So thank you so much. Anna Palmer was the first person to donate. Rise up yourself for that. So we've got a total of 15 donors so far. So family, please, if you're even able to just give £5 as a donation, you can see that it's going to be going to a great, great cause. And it's so needed, you know. And there was a mention of Africa. And we need to touch on that. And I want to hear the comments from the panel on this one. You know, as you know, the situation regarding Afghanistan has been all over the mainstream media. You know, absolutely embarrassing situation. The US and UK pulling out their army, leaving the place in absolute ruin and turmoil. And as a result, you know, a lot of the citizens that have been working alongside the Americans and the British feel very threatened and want to leave the country. And even, you know, Uganda, an African country, has offered, you know, I think it's about 10,000 places to people from Afghanistan. But we'd like to ask the Ugandan government, what about the people of St Vincent? What about the people of Haiti? Where is their offer, you know, of assistance? And we'd also like to ask the other African governments and CARICOM governments as well, where is your support for the people? And we're not talking government to government support now. We're talking about supporting the people on the ground. Where is that support? The people are in need. These are African people by many different names. You know, sometimes we identify ourselves by our nationality, by where we were born, or by our ethnic groups. But, you know, we're all from the same root as Africans. And in time of need, you know, we need to be helping and assisting each other. You know, we can't be expecting others who don't look like us, don't like us, or some big belly people who only think of their own gluttonous self, you know, to be assisting our people. Let me go over to Dr. Abu for some comments here.
A serious thing, because if I can get this thing here from... But a serious thing in us, sis, you know, and rise up to Sister Sheila, you know, and once again, rise up to our beautiful audience out there. You know, I've been asking this question. Where is the Jamaican Defense Force to even go and lend some assistance? Where is, you know, we have to be real, because I see when they was going into Grenada, them live from Jamaica and join the American to go in a Grenada upon Maurice Bishop. What I'm saying, my people, look and see what we're going through. You know, look and see what we're paying into. You know, we shouldn't even come here or even talk about these appeals, because our people contribute so much to the church. The contribution that you're going to give this Sunday, send it to the St. Vincent appeal. Because when I talk to a lot of people out there, they're going to tell me that, oh, Abu, you know, it's the end of time, you know, and the Lord is coming. That's why these, no. And this is what we have to get out with people to stop this little nursery rhyme stupidness. You understand? And realize that we have been terrorized, man, and we've been terrorized so much that, like, so we start to like it. You understand? You know, and we lost the feeling of our people, and we forgot why some of us even in Europe. We are in Europe because the European destroy our economical system on the island. And today in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, tourism have more rights than the people. And that go right through all the island. Even in Africa, tourists have more right than the people that's inhabit that island. You know, we have to really think about our people from our heart. You know, let us leave our people with a light heart and let go this heavy heart business. You understand? Because, as I said, we is all we have. And if we don't stand up today, what example are we showing the next generation?
Exactly.
You know, What example are we showing the young ones out there? You know? And I see a lot of young people moving towards, you know, helping the situation more than some of the adults. A lot of the adults, they're coward, they're selfish, you know, they you know, a lot of us, we develop the, I think it's Exodus 7, jealousy and bad mind. This is what the European give to us, jealousy and bad mind, and we live with it, and we have to get out of that and realize that we all have to go to the cemetery. How much of us prepare for that? Anytime we prepare for that death, we will always look out for one another. But we prepare for holiday and we prepare for everything. But it's certain. And I want to know that when I join my ancestor, I can say that clearly I never joined these European terrorists. Vudum.
Vudum, Dr. Abu, Vudum. And, you know, I'm seeing in the chat, Rise Up Sister Afrijamo, you know, who's saying that Ghana took in a plane load of Lebanese recently. And guess who got Ghanaian citizenship straight away?
That's it.
To BC. Huh? What's the matter with the minds and the heads of our people? You know, this is a challenge that we have. And as our brother, Mr. Wilson, is saying here, Afghanistan is not our problem. That is so true. You know, the situation that our people in Haiti and our people in St. Vincent that are facing right now, you know, that is our problem. You know, earlier today, we had an appeal from our brother from Haiti as well, who's working on the ground. I think I'm going to have to bring him on next strong. But right now, he's trying to raise $200 to bring 2 babies. I think it's 2 babies, he said, to the center of town, to the hospital there from an affected region, so that they can get the medical assistance that they so desperately need. He said the small clinic in the village where they are unable to treat them, and they're really worried that if these babies don't get into the hospital in town, they won't be able to survive. And he also reported on our show earlier today that they managed to rescue 7 people today, you know, over a week after the actual earthquake. They brought out 7 people alive. They're having to rescue people, he was saying, with his hands. That him and his team are removing the rubble brick by brick, piece of concrete by piece of concrete, and pulling people out. These people were trapped in an area at the back of the school, and they managed to get them out all these days later. So when our sister talks about how resilient we are strong as a people. Imagine people still being found alive, you know, over a week, about 10 days after the event. So he's desperately asking for our support. My brother Jean from Haiti, I saw a comment from you in the chat. Please put your details in here as well, so that, you know, people can give to your charity as well. Okay, I mean, we're not looking for no big money from anybody, just a little £5. We've got 112 people who are watching us right now, and many more are going to be watching us on playback. If you even just put a little £5 or a $5, family, it will make a big difference. Okay, so St. Vincent are appealing to you. Haiti is appealing to you. I am being sent the images almost on a daily basis of what's happening on the ground in St. Vincent and also Haiti. And for those of you who know the history of Haiti, you will know that these major charities are collecting on behalf of Haiti, but they don't see a penny of it. They don't see any of the help. You know, so, you know, a couple of you have already contributed to the GoFundMe. I want to thank you so much. There's been a donation of £40. Thank you so much for that donation. You know, we are on 17 people that have donated now. That's up from the number of donors that we had earlier. We've gone up to 725. So I think we were, how many donors were we when we came in? We got it up from 5 to about 14 on my show. That's right. We're up to 22 now. Yeah, and the figure has gone up from 500 and something to 725. Thank you so much to those of you who have donated. We are so proud of you, my people, but please do continue to give. For every money that you give, that is more barrels, more food, more that we can send down. So, you know, let's go over to Sister Denise. Sister Denise, you know, what have you got to say to our people who are actually giving?
I want to say thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts, you know, because like you said, a little can go a long way. We know everybody's going through a tough time with COVID and what's going on in the world. But as you said, one shovel can help a whole, you know, 6 families, you know, clean up. So definitely, please give what you can. And we thank you very much. And it definitely will go a long way. And it's a continuous process. It's something that is going to be, you know, we're going to be working on and, you know, trying to continue to provide aid throughout years to come. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I've just reposted the link for the GoFundMe. So thanking you in advance. Those who have donated, thank you so much. We've got to do for self. It's one thing us talking about helping and assisting our brothers and sisters and talking a good talk, but now it's about action, you know? And as I said, if we all just give a little bit, this one said, is the donation only in dollars? Is this being announced on black radio stations? You know, you can give in whatever currency you want, and it will probably just, you know, convert it into dollars. But just give, you know, in whatever currency you are able to give. Every little meka muckle, one quarter full basket. Will be a man and drunker man will know when we are talk about. Yeah, one quarter full basket. So if each of us put a little, yeah, that will go a long way. My brother from Haiti as well, if you can post your details in the chat if you're still watching, because my, the situation in Haiti is as terrible. It's terrible, you know. And one thing I must say about Haiti, actually, when the earthquake hit, I remember a news reporter predicting that there was going to be thousands of deaths. They were actually hoping for tens of thousands of deaths, you know, but we just cancelled that, you know, and sent it right back to the sender. And they did not get the number of deaths that they had been hoping for. What a wicked set of people. And just also to emphasize that on the day that the earthquake hit Haiti, it was the 14th of August. It was on the anniversary of the start of the Haiti revolution. These people, you know, it wasn't a coincidence. It was no coincidence that that earthquake at the 7.2 magnitude that it hit the island, yeah, because it missed the Dominican part and just directly hit the Haiti part, yeah, on the same day as of the anniversary of the Haitian revolution. And those of us who know about HARP, yeah, you will know that there is the technology to actually use the weather, to weaponize the weather. Let me bring in our sister Hedy.
Oh, hi. Yes, thank you, everybody who has given. It would go a long way, as my sister said, because this is not just a sprint. We want to do something ongoing in our community. We want to re-educate our people. We want to build our women, because our women are really affected in this, all of this that's happening in St. Vincent as well. So we want them to, you know, create empowerment for the women. So this is just a start. And we're going to be in this for the long haul. So, you know, that's why we on the ground. We know exactly what is happening. And so I keep abreast every day with what's happening on the ground even now. And as my sister said, we have people allocated to distribute the food to the people who need it most. Because we know even in this political realm in St. Vincent that some of the people who have not supported are not going to get anything.
And those who are supporting are fine. Some of them are just fine. So yeah.
So we're fully aware of that.
So we're
And so
zeroing in on those who really need the help,
really need
really. Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Let's bring in Sister Sheila. Sister Sheila, you know, we really need our people to give. We really need our people to contribute. We've got to do for self. You know, what say you, my sis?
I will tell you a story about that will illustrate this. In the UK, sometimes there's a lot of wind. And this particular time, I was working in this place in Hackney. And I was walking to the train station. There's a train station called Cannington. And you have to cross the A12, which is a very busy road. I don't know if any of you in the audience knows about the A12. It's one of the roads that's always crowded. So I was walking from work and I was getting ready to getting my things ready. So I took out my Oyster card, my bank card. I had 20 pounds in my pocket. So I was holding them just to get ready. For one reason or another, I felt like I needed to get ready at the lights. And then this gust of wind came. There's this wind that you have to hold on to a lamppost. It's the wind that pushes people, and people really do get killed. The wind pushes people and people die.
Wow.
So these strong winds came, and it went with my bank card, my 20 pound, my Oyster card, and they fell right in the middle of A12, which cars go very, very fast. And I could see my money flew. The money did not even land. The money, I just saw it flying, and it flew and it went. But I saw my Oyster card. And the Oyster card, for those that don't know, it's a card you use. It's a pass you use to go over to get on the train and on the buses. So I saw my Oyster card lying there, and I saw my bank card lying on the A12. Now I am left without anything. And I know that the trains people are not going to allow me to get through. So I decided, you know what, let me try and see if I can rescue either the Oyster card, it has some money that can take me home, or the bank card. I tell you, I was almost getting killed on that road trying to lift those things. But in the end, I managed to lift half the card. The card had already been crushed by the cars. So it was only like a half of it, the bank card. The rest of the things, it was just playing with death. So here I was, went to the train station. The station staff were Black people, African people, going by the names of the name tag and the accent. They would not even give me audience. I was trying to explain to them, could you just let me pass? They did not want to know. They kept telling me, go to the machine, go pay. And I'm trying to negotiate, and I'm going to them like a sister going to a brother. There were two men trying to see nothing. I asked to speak to the station manager, who happened also to be an African sister, and she was not having it. She did not even give me audience. And she told me if I don't have, and I was trying to show them the card to show them that actually I am not someone that is a chancer. I even have a card, but look, the wind happened, but they were not hearing it. And I had to stand at the gates trying to see which passerby, it was rush hour, trying to see which passerby I could approach. At the same time, I contemplated jumping those gates, but I'm too short, and the gates do hit very badly, and you can get caught. So I sat there, I was thinking, what do I do? And I tried to approach people. People were not keen. They were not ready to listen to me. Eventually, an old white man who wanted direction saw me standing there and came to ask me for direction. And in the process of me giving him direction, I asked now for fare. So it was kind of like an exchange. And he paid for me my fare because I'd gone out of my way to explain direction. And even told him that when we get somewhere, I'll walk with him. I didn't say that I'll walk with him, just show him the way. So I got help through him and I got in. Now, why I'm telling you this story is, first of all, to illustrate three things. One thing is that our people don't necessarily have the Ubuntu. They don't know how to help each other. They don't know how to see this is one of our own, and I'm in a position to help. Because the station staff could easily have let me go through. They could easily have done it. They didn't. There was no oneness. There was no feeling of saying this could be my sister, you know. Let me see how I can help her. Or let me hear her out. That was not being heard at all. So that's the first thing. We are very hard-hearted when it comes to helping each other. Because I have seen them help other people. I have seen them help. Like sometimes I would work at night, and then there will be these people, these revelers, they're completely drunk, completely plastered. They would be given extra help to make sure they are safe. Even taxis would be called for them. But here I was looking very decent, no help at all. So I am illustrating that we are not very quick in helping each other. That's the first thing I'm illustrating. The second thing I'm also illustrating is that bad luck can strike you anytime. Like for me, I had everything prepared. I'm normally prepared that way. But here the wind had other ideas, and the wind rendered me helpless, and I had to rely to other people. And that's the third thing. You cannot say that you'll never need the help of other people. Things can happen to you whereby you really have no choice but to ask for help from others. And the issue with this, you have to know how to ask for help, because it is a very daunting experience. When you stand there, you are helping and people are ignoring you. You help, people are ignoring you. You're asking for help and you're being ignored. It is the most humiliating, vulnerable place you can ever be. And you really have to have that fortitude to continue to focus on what it is that you want. And this, I give this message to my sisters, Denise, Heidi, and Anne-Marie. I know where it is to be in that place, because now you are asking for help in a larger scale, because there are many people that need the help, and this is a matter of life and death. For me, not having transport home is not a matter of life and death. When push comes to shove, I could walk, start a long way home. But this is a matter of life and death. We have lives in distress right now, and you are asking for help. You are in that place, and I understand the vulnerable situation that you feel. You feel vulnerable, you feel helpless, you feel powerless, and you feel like, why aren't people helping? Why aren't our people saying that? And that now brings me to that issue of distrust amongst ourselves. Because I find our people, it's not that our people do not help, they just don't help one of our own. I remember when there was that fire of Notre Dame in 2019. There was Notre Dame. I don't know how you pronounce it. It was a church that burnt in France. And they raised 1 billion pounds in 4 days.
Exactly.
1 billion. There was no human casualty. There was nothing. The money was just to rebuild the church as well as to save the artifacts. Amongst the people that donated the money were African governments. And African governments, I remember the Kenyan government did put a message out to the Kenyan people and say, let us donate money for Notre Dame Church, and put something there that the house of the Lord has burned. This is the house of the Lord, and something like that. And people donated funds. I won't forget that people donated the funds because they felt touched that the church had burnt. These are the very people, if you tell them, come, St. Vincent, this is what has happened. Come, Haiti, this is what has happened. They'll think like, where are those places and what has that got to do with me anyway? So you see, when these issues occur, they illustrate to us the deep problem we have, the deep problem we are in. It just shows us the rot that we are carrying within us. Because today, something to happen to the UK, something to happen to America or any of these places, our governments will be at the forefront in the news. Lots of GoFundMe pages will be set up for collection, and people that this is not their business at all will make it their business to make sure they're doing donations for the people of Australia and for the people of America and for the people of France and for the people of whatever, they will do it. But when it comes to the people of Barbados, people of St. Vincent's, people of Haiti, people of any other African country or any other Black people country, our self-loathing comes out, our detachment comes out, our disregard comes out, and our distrust. Sometimes we even distrust that truly this thing has happened, and truly if we donate, is going to help our people. So we put in place this big request, and we want to say, so who's Denise? She's collecting as who? How sure are we she's not going to use this money for herself? What about Heidi? I don't like the look of Heidi. Heidi looks like the type that can run with money, And Anne-Marie, that one, she looks so rich. She could donate her money herself. Why is she bothered? These are the little petty comments to go with. But when you hear that something is happening, you go. And the last thing, we don't only leave it with money, we also leave it with things to do with empathy. Empathy goes a long way in helping people. When you feel compelled to move, when you feel your emotions are compelled and you're thinking the plight of this person is so harsh that I could help them. That is the empathy. You get moved to do something about it. But when you have no empathy, especially when you have self-loathing or you have disregard, you're not moved to it. And during this situation we've been going in with the pandemic and all that kind of thing. I don't want to say names because sometimes the algorithms bring issues.
That's
right. But then the UKK and the US, their heads did get they got the illness. And I remember our country, Kenya, when they had these two heads that got illnesses, they got them at different times. It was the American head was the one that it's not the one that's there now, but the one before, he got ill. And also the UK one, the one that's there also got ill. We sent sympathy. That shows we had the empathy. We were in sadness that, this had happened. And that is what even made us take these things seriously. But I tell you, in our own countries, when we were hearing our own people had similar things and we were putting very harsh measures of lockdown in place and curfews that were making things worse than the ongoing issue itself, there was no empathy there. None at all. But when we hear this very overfed, powerful people have got this illness, probably being taken care of, being pampered, we now feel that we have to send our energy through empathy. We have to send the goodwill. And this just shows the rot that festers in our hearts when it comes to our people.
Wow.
The people, we need to sit and think twice about this. I give
you. Wow.
You
know what?
It's still there. It's still there. Sorry.
No, I was just, feeling, a sense of despair, after hearing that, is it really that, our hearts has, rotted to the place where we can't feel empathy and sympathy for our own people, and I know that we've been through a lot as a people. And I know through the mainstream media, they've done a good job of trying to desensitize us to, issues that we are affected by, but nevertheless, we are the ones, who are going to have to lead by example and do the giving. We are the ones who are going to have to help and support our own. We are the enlightened ones. We are the conscious ones. We are the ones who have been feeding on all of the knowledge of our history and who we are, as the great ones prior to the destruction of our civilizations, and we are the ones who are going to have to strive ahead of those who may be still rotting in some place in terms of their heart and their emotions and the crab in a barrel mentality. We're going to have to be the ones who can demonstrate that there is a better way and that we can do for self. And to those who have already given, in the chat, I want to rise you all up. It shows that you do have a heart to give, so let's take a look and see where we're at the moment with the giving. Rise up, family, and let's see how we're doing. Let me just refresh the page. We are on £930 now. We were on 560, I think it was, when we started. We started with 14 donors. We now have 26 donors. We are almost hitting at least our 1,000 mark. Rise up, each and every one of you that has given, during the show today. There are still so many more of you yet to give, and please do so. We have got to be our own saviors. We've got to be the ones that save our people, because as you've heard from our sisters who were actually on the ground when the devastation hit, as you heard from our people, who are talking to those who have been directly impacted, they are telling us that the government is not helping. I showed you earlier the facilities that the government made available, the nasty, dirty facilities that has no running water and no provisions at all for the people. This is what they made available for the people who had been impacted in the red zone area, with the 93 million that they had been given to help and assist the people? What a wicked set of people up there in government. So to those who have given, Kingsley, rise up yourself for your $50 donation. Maria Joseph, rise up yourself for your $25 donations. Surfer, rise up yourself for your $50 donation. Sinovia, rise up yourself for your $50 donation. Lisa, rise up yourself. The anonymous person, rise up yourself. Sister Cheryl B, rise up yourself. Maxine Grant, rise up yourself. Sister Verna, for your $50 donation, rise up yourself. Shara, rise up yourself. Pittsburgh, rise up. Hazel, rise up. Rising up those who have had a heart to give during this show today, and there are more of you, I'm sure, who is going to give before the show is out. This is what it's about, us doing the self. Please do continue giving. Our people need your help. If it's even $5 that you give, a next person put another $5, that can buy a shovel so they can start moving some of the ash away from their property. This was also a farming community. People were independent. The ash has totally destroyed their farmland. Who knows, what is in the ash and whether that's going to affect the food for years to come that they're able to grow, making a people who were, originally independent, now dependent on a government who doesn't give a damn about them. If the government's not prepared to help them during this time of their greatest need, what hope is there, that they will get any assistance from the government in time to come when the need is less? Let me go over to Sister Anne-Marie, who's working across 4 regions in St. Vincent right now.
Thank you so much. One of the points I wanted to say, it's kind of sounding like doom and gloom at the moment, but there are so many people who have been helping, but unfortunately we've been helping the wrong part of the island. But I want to just give a little story. The first time I heard that Evesham needed help, I just sent out the message to my family and my friends on the Monday to say I was sending a barrel on the Wednesday. And the love and support that I just got through my family and friends, not only food, clothes and money to ship the barrels. I ended up sending, I thought I was only going to do 1 barrel. I ended up sending 2 barrels and a box. And that was just in the space of 24 hours. I had people from family members from North London bringing down stuff for me. And I'm expecting the same thing in a couple of days. So the thing is, we are helping, we are doing. But the other thing we've got to be so careful of is there are companies over here that are shipping barrels for free. Now, the problem with that is it sounds good, but they are actually working for the government. So when you send a barrel and you think, oh, this is going to the people, it's not going to the people. It's going to Nemo, which is part of the government. So they take what they want, they pass it on to their friends, and they pass it on. And then maybe the people at the bottom might get something. So if you are going to donate, do it through us, who are small independent people, who we have got people on the ground, that you send it directly to somebody. Or even if you've got family members, send it to them and just say, look, there's an extra 2 or 3 bags in there, help a family in need. Because there's people that took in, just private people took in refugees or took in people who were evacuating from the red zone, and they've not had any help at all. So yes, we are helping Sandy Bay, but there are people that they might have just been a family of 3 and they've taken in a family of 18. So they're struggling as well. So, but as you said, every penny counts. Even if it's only a $5 you can give, that is appreciated.
Rise up, my sis. Can I ask our guests who are working with the people on the ground if there is a telephone number that maybe you could put in the chat, or WhatsApp number so that people who may want to contact you to try and offer, you know, any food or any clothing items can do so. Or if they want an address, maybe, you know, they're in a different part of the world and they can do a collection amongst their family and send off a barrel or two. Can they get an address where they can just send a barrel to? Just picking up on what Sister Anne was saying, we certainly don't want to go through the free route if it's just going to end up in the coffers of the politicians. I had that experience in Zimbabwe, I must say. It was absolutely dreadful. We sent down so many, you know, computers and what was it, wheelchairs and Zimmer frames and clothing, and the government took it in their yard, took the best of it, and then just left the rest for the people, what they didn't want. Absolutely dreadful. So I know from first-hand experience, you know, that there are some rogue officials who, you know, abuse their position in that way. And so if we can just label barrels and send it directly to people on the ground and they can get back and confirm that they've received it, that would be absolutely fantastic. Sister Afrijama was asking a question that maybe some others are asking. She says that, Sister Shanice, is it sure that the money donated this evening will get to our people in St. Vincent? Who'd like to answer that question, please?
Yes. I mean, through us first, because we have to buy the supplies. Definitely Hedy and her sister, they have people there. We can do videos. I've had my people, when I've sent barrels down, they've done videos to show me they've got the barrels. They've sent me videos to show me them parceling out the food and handing it out to the community. So that's not a problem. We could easily do that to prove if there's distrust. But we are small, independent people. I don't really want to be handing out addresses for our people. I've put my number up if you want to contact me, and we can do it privately. Because at the end of the day, these are still people who, you know, they're our family members, they're our friends. So we have to make sure whatever information we're giving out, that it's going to the right people. Yes, we have to do that. So, but if you're worried about the money, seriously, it is going to the people.
And that's the reason I'd just like to add in, that's the reason why we've taken the initiative, us three, to give the help and get the aid to the people that need it the most, because that is the problem, and that's what we're talking about. And we get a lot of that, oh, St. Vincent got so much aid, so where's all the money? Where is it going to? And that's what we're trying to bring to the forefront, that yes, St. Vincent did get a lot of money. The government got a lot of money, but the people that need it aren't getting a penny of it. So that's where we're stepping in, and we're trying to do our best to get that necessary help to the people who need it right now the most, you know. So
the sad thing though, the people who are affected is under 20,000.
Exactly, and the numbers aren't big.
Under 20,000. It's not the whole of St. Vincent. Let people understand that. And it's the indigenous people. And what I'm saying, historically, this is how we've been treated. We always, when there is something happen, we don't get the support. Even on a daily basis from the government, people don't get support. Jobs are not provided for people that much in that area, because they depend on their land, they're farmers, they're fishermen. And so even with this, the people who are fishermen, they can't go to fish because, of course, the sea, all the lava that flows into the sea now is covered with ash. And as my sister explained, the ash, when the rain came after that, is hard.
So it doesn't wash away. Everybody thinks the ash will wash away with the rain, but that becomes concrete. You can actually make cement blocks out of that ash. Yeah. So
what you have to understand is that there's people who get jobs twice a year from the government. They clean the roads at Christmas time. Road work twice a year. And guess what? If you're affiliated with that political system,
if you vote
or that
for
party, you get the work. If you don't, you don't get the work. It's plain and simple.
And when we talk about when we talk about being corrupt and the way that the government works, As a woman, women are being taken advantage. Children are being taken advantage. There's young girls. Rape in our community is common. We have stories of young little girls being raped by, older men, and nothing is being done about it. And when we talk to our community and talk to other people, they said this is normal in St. Vincent.
And it's normal because they're not going to have they have no help to go to the courts. They can't afford to go to the court to fight the system.
So the leader of the country is the biggest predator. So he set up the system to make sure men like him get away with rape, get away with murder, get away with corruption.
And his son as well, from what I'm picking up in the chat, and his son
is
walking in the shoes of his own father. Dr. Abu, we haven't heard from you for a little while. Let's bring you in, Dr. Abu.
Why, listening to what the sister, the Empress, them saying, those people that they pressure the most, they are not certified. They don't have any certification from Harvard. And you see, all the tests that we do in life is to please the European.
Exactly.
And we become so. Yeah, I will become so hooked on it today that we start to look down. I'm here in London and see even certain family member look down upon them. One family member. Them even said enough time for them is not in their league anymore. You understand? This is what I'm saying, that we are so, and I will not blame the people because we never get any proper counseling out of this. I blame those who are leading.
For ourselves. We have to start do that. We can't look at the Europeans to do that for us because we have to start doing it ourselves.
No, make I finish. If it wasn't for some of us, family is very important. And we must support the family. You understand? If you want to know the service of a car, you go and check the garage, ain't it, or the previous owner. You want to know the service record of certain individual. Even your husband you have to go to the family to see how him is, ain't it? But what I'm saying that we educated so messed up that we rather engraft. We rather engraft in something else than support what we are from. And acknowledge what we are from and who we are at this present time. You understand? This is what we have to realize, You have to give thanks for the life that we are at this present time. See? And realize that everyone that is here, you understand, is connected. And we are connected in so many different ways that it's not a matter of blaming. But if we don't know the cause, we'll forever looking for solution through the symptoms. We have to counsel one another. We have to know we talk to one another. You understand? We have to have more tolerance towards one another. Because what I'm saying that I'm here in the UK. You understand? And we have MPs, we have councillors here, and then don't give a damn about their people same way. So it seems like everywhere we are in this position, we forgot our purpose. We rather hold on to the position and forgot our purpose. And I'm saying that whether you're in Haiti or in St. Vincent or in Africa, we are living a life of horror blood. Because when we leave our home here in the UK to go out, we are fretting if we're gonna reach back safe. You understand? So this is not no thing that we think that we are in the UK or in America, we are more better off. No, some of us is even worse off. May I tell my people that is in the Caribbean, worse off. And I, as a part of Galaxy Radio, you understand? Because these are the things that we highlight, and you will never hear this conversation on many of the so-called black stations out here. You understand? And these are the things that I'm saying, my people. This is what I'm saying. This is not the first time we're going through this disaster. And it won't be the last. But we have to change the way how we dealing with it. See, We can't deal with it with the same things them that the European give to us. We cannot do that, man. Even in Haiti, them say to you, throw away the image. That this is what we are going through. We are going through a disaster, so we have to throw away the image of the oppressor. That we don't go through the continent incubating this pain. You understand? Once again, I salute the Empress them, you know, each and every one, you know, to see that I'm the only man on the platform. But you see, I am not afraid. I am not afraid.
That's my brother.
You understand? I grew up with my grandmother. You understand, you know? And I give thanks for the teaching that she give to I. That today I can share it towards our people. The nurturing. If you know that. It's not about the have. You got to look out for the have not. You got to look out for them.
Absolutely.
So Voodoo all the time.
Voodoo, rise up, Dr. Abu. And we most certainly are the ones who are going to have to look out for each other, despite the damage, despite the miseducation, you know, despite that indoctrination to only, you know, value whiteness and to denigrate blackness. We're going to have to push past all of that. I want to just rise up the people in the chat that has been given. There's 121 of us who are watching live, and many more are watching behind time. And so, you know, your numbers are not here. Please do remember to give us a thumbs up. The more likes we get, the more likely this video will reach the screens of our brothers and sisters who need to see this and may have a heart to give. To all who have given, thank you so much. We are on $1,095 so far.
Oh, amazing. Thank you.
We are now on 32 donors. So we're up from the 14 donors that we started off
Wonderful.
at. So I want to thank everybody that has given so far. But, you know, if you haven't given and you do intend to give, please do give. So let me just rise up some of those who've just given. Brother Noel Nichols, rise up yourself. And I wonder if that's Errol's brother. Rise up yourself, my brother. Clive, Alec, thank you so much. Azzy, who's given, thank you so much. Sylvia, who's given, thank you so much. Kingsley, thank you again. You know, so please do continue to give. It's going to a great cause. The people who are going to be responsible for those finances, for your money, for your hard-earned money, to make sure that it reaches the people on the ground, you're looking at them. You know, if you've just joined earlier, I was showing some of the photos, you know, that they had sent me. I was airing some of the videos of that they had sent me as well, that people on the ground had actually video recorded, showing the appalling conditions that they were having to stay in. Absolutely shocking. And also, family, if I can mention to you that there is another appeal that's ongoing as well, and that's the appeal for Haiti. My, you know, we've been giving to that appeal as well. And, you know, people have been even sending me money. And if they send me £10, sometimes they say 5 for Haiti, 5 for St. Vincent. So I do have, you know, some people that have contacted me because they've said, look, I can't send money via GoFundMe, but I can transfer money to your bank account. If I transfer it to you, will you make sure it gets to them? I've said absolutely yes. I will transfer the money. I will give them your contact details so they can contact you and confirm that they have received the money. So if you want me to do that, if you want to send the money to me, I'm going to give you a phone number, +44 7961 909 595. That is a number. You can just text me on that number. It's not a WhatsApp number, that one. But let me give you a WhatsApp number as well. But problem with WhatsApp is that I'm just drowning in messages in WhatsApp, so that one might get missed. But if you text me on this first number, I will see that. And then I will send you my bank account details, and you can send me a message with your name to just say how much you've sent and whether it's for the Haiti or the St. Vincent appeal, or if it's the split between the two of them. And I will make sure that that gets transferred to our sisters or our brother in Haiti, whatever the donation is for. So for the WhatsApp is +44 7415 097 947. Let me just post that in the chat as well. Should you want to give, but you're not able to give via GoFundMe. And I just want to rise up a few people who messaged me during my show today and said that they would be sending some money over, and a few have already done so as well. So this sister here, number ending 613, said, Sister Shanice, a lot of people don't like using bank accounts, as they know other people can gain access to it. So they were asking about postal orders. Do you take postal orders?
I'm not too sure about that. Anne-Marie?
I hadn't thought of that.
Someone's
yeah, maybe.
about postal orders there.
I've never thought of that, because we were just told do a GoFundMe, and
yes, exactly.
Okay, and I've got a number ending 243 that's asking for my account details because they want to send a donation to St Vincent. Thank you so much for that. I will send the details after the show. And I've got someone here who's saying that they want to help both. Please send me bank account details for so that they can send a donation to Haiti and St Vincent. So number ending 266. Thank you so much for that. And number ending 613. Oh no, that's the one I've read already. Let's see this one. 883. Rise up yourself. And yes, complimenting me for the works. Thank you so much for that. And they're looking forward to the bank details so that they can make a donations directly to my account. So these telephone numbers, once they do make the donation, I'll send you the numbers so that you can confirm that how much you've received and what you've received. Okay, family, so that they know that they are getting those funds. We've lost Sister Denise. Hopefully she'll be able to come back. I just want to read you something from our brother Sean. Yeah, Sean, Jean, but pronounced the French way, from Haiti. He said, "Dear Sister Shanice, in the show later, please let the people know that we have 2 babies at the age of 4 and 6 years old that need emergency surgery. We need to transfer them to Port-au-Prince because where they are in the countryside, the small traditional clinic can't take care of them. We can't find any help anywhere. We have been calling for help since yesterday. NGO or government institutions are not coming. Loads of bawling, and then they are suffering. I don't think they can spend another night. We are joining our efforts. Please let the people know the situation to see if they can contribute to help to save their lives. If they want to talk on video, they can call and you can talk directly to the brother on video." So I said, I'll try. How much do you need for the transfer or to transport the babies to Port-au-Prince? He said they need 20,000 HTG, which is around $200 US. Then they come back to say that someone has donated 5,000 HTG, so they now need 15,000. So that must be about $150. Family, for $150, we may well be able to save the life of the young 4-year-old and the young 6-year-old. I have put the brother's contact details in the chat. Please, if you are able to help, every little mekamako, please do assist. His name is Sean Clebert, Eloius. Okay, the country is Haiti. You can send some money via Western Union or via MoneyGram. I sent some money via MoneyGram and it got to him fine. His phone number is there as well. What you need to make sure of is that if you send any money via MoneyGram or via World Remit, that you give him the collection transfer money. Yeah, so you need to message him to let him know how much you've sent and your name, and also any reference number that you are given so that he can go and then collect that money. It's also absolutely imperative that you spell his name correctly as well, because he'll need to bring ID. And if there's so much as one letter that's spelled incorrectly, he may not get it. And the situation on the ground in Haiti is dire as well. But in Haiti, we have the situation where lives, many, many lives have been lost. And it's raining, and I've seen the images of them under the shelter, the rain coming through the shelter, our brothers on the ground working round the clock. Not only are they bringing food and water to people, but they're also acting as rescuers as well. And so, family, you have been giving. Please do continue to give, because the reality is that they're going to need food, not just for today, but for tomorrow and for the day after as well. Let me bring in Sister Sheila. Rise up, Sister Sheila. People have been giving, my sis. The people in this group have been giving. Oh.
And we give thanks for their giving. And I also want to say a Kiswahili proverb that says, tenda wema nenda zako. And that simply means do your good, then go on your way. Basically, if you are making a donation for a just cause like this one, make your donation in good faith, then be on your way. Let's stop with the habit of interrogating the people that have given them the task, that have given themselves the task of helping our people. As Sister Shanice has said, they are working as rescuers, they are working as helpers, they are working as everyone else. Let's not add interrogation on top of it. Let us not, because we're sending £5 or £10 or 20 or 50 or 100, now decide that we're going to do a Spanish Inquisition on them. That we are now going to make sure that we ask them left, right, and center, how much have you received? How are you spending it? May have the receipts, may have your bank account. Just the same way our Empress here has said that it's a small organization. So therefore, there will be capacity, there will be overstretched as it is. At the same time, there are some personal details. We have to give them dignity as well when they are helping our people and we are donating. We have to give them dignity, not now to tell themselves to lay themselves bare, whereby, okay, tell us you've received this. How much are you doing? You look like you bought a new car. Can you show us in your account that you had money for the car and it's not coming from this? The same way these NGOs, when they come to our communities and ask for money, I don't know, to raise whatever, we never ask them questions. We trust them because they are NGOs. So we just give them. We don't ask. But then when it's our own people coming to ask, we want the questions. We want to ask and ask and ask and ask. No. Let us learn to give with a clean heart, cheerfully, trusting that it is going to the intended people, and know that anything we give with such a clean heart, that money always comes back to us. It will come back to us. And we thank them. As we give, let us thank them for the work they're doing. And if we can buy them a drink at it, we say, you know what, I'm giving £20 to go to the people, and £5, go and get yourself a nice drink for the good work you're doing. Let us learn to appreciate our people. That is how we build them up, because they're doing a great job. I give so much thanks for you, Anne-Marie, for Denise and our other sister, Hedy. I give so much thanks. You're doing great things for our people. And it's because of you that our people are able to raise their heads with dignity. I give thanks.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you so much, Sister Sheila. You know, and someone said, oh, I might need an assistant. Always ready to have an assistant. You know, I want to organize a fundraising event. I want to organize an online Zoom fundraiser for St Vincent, for Haiti, and for our school in the Gambia. So if anyone wants to help, you know, the great thing is that you don't have to even be in the UKKK to help. You can assist from anywhere in the world. You know, I'm going to need poets, I'm going to need musicians, singers, artists, entertainers, speakers. If you're able to help to pull that program together and help to market and promote it with the flyer and everything else, I really, really do need you to get in touch with me. I've put my email address and my contact number in the chat. Please do get in touch. Let's do a fundraiser. Let's spend a whole day like this raising some funds. I want to rise up everybody that's given so far. You know, within a couple of hours, you know, we've managed to push that figure up to $1,103. Thank you all so much. You know, you are, doing an amazing job, and what you're offering is going to go a long way. So, brother Kwame Olatunji, rise up yourself for what you've just given. We have now taken the number of donors up from 5 when we started this morning to 34. Thank you all so much. You all have a heart of gold, and may what you have given come back to you 100-fold. And if it doesn't come back to you, may it go back to your family 100-fold, 1,000-fold. As you give, may the universe give back to you. That's the beauty of giving, the universe sees your heart and your energy and will give you back in abundance. To all those who have yet to give, thank you all so much as well. I'm just going to ask our guests to give us a few last words before we wrap up. But also, please do remember the appeal for the 2 babies in Haiti as well. If you're able to give a little £5, or something to our brother, please do. My contact details are there. If you want to send it to me, and I'll send it in one bulk so that we save some money on the transfer fees, just say Haiti. Okay, I'll send you my bank account details. You can send me the money. You can say Haiti in a reference, or St Vincent, or in a message you sent me, you can say 50-50, and I will split it and I will send it over to them. Okay. So, Sister Denise, what have you got to say to the family who are tuned in right now, to those who have given, to those who are thinking about giving, to those who have heard and are going to be doing collections in their family, collections in their church or their mosque or the organizations that they're part of? What message have you got for the people? On behalf of you and your sister Hedy.
Yeah, so during our research, we've been very passionate about not only about our own community, but just about our people and our land in St. Vincent, just in general. And the Kalinago way was always, we were a people of love. We loved you regardless of where you came from, Black, white, brown, it didn't matter. If you wanted to be with us and be one of us, we would embrace you and love you and bring you into our community. So we're just asking for that same love and devotion that we have always given, for help back right now when we're in so much need, more than ever before, and we're gonna continue helping and fighting for the Kalinago and for the people of St. Vincent just in general, and just bring awareness to our plight and bring back our culture as well, because we've lost a lot of that. We're the forgotten peoples, and we've forgotten ourselves as well. So we're trying to bring back, our ways, and our indigenous way of life, and that was a better way of life versus what the life we've been living, a colonized life, and living in the white man's world. So we're trying to bring it back home. So I just want to thank everybody for their love, and for digging into their pockets or into their hearts to try to help us out. And I just pray that we can move forth and help everyone out in our community. So thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts.
Okay.
Thank you so much, for taking it upon yourself to help your people. You're not in St. Vincent right now. You could have just turned your back and done nothing. But because you have a heart of gold and a heart that cares for the people, you, Anne-Marie, and your sister are doing what you can to make that difference. Rise up yourself. Sister Anne-Marie, let's hear from you, please.
Yeah, I want to say thank you for everybody for taking the time, number one, to listen to us today and to hear our stories, and to take the time to donate, even if it's money, food, whatever you've done. I really appreciate it. I've met a few people recently, and they've given me clothes, they've given me money, and they've also thanked me for what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything for thanks. I'm doing it to help people. The main aim of my charity I started was to help the children, but right now it's the whole family that needs the help. So that is what I'm aiming to do, to help the family. And I think what for me within my family and my friends and friends of friends, I see the village forming. And that is what we need to get back to. It takes a village to raise a family or to raise a child. And for me, I've been so happy with the village that I am seeing. And I'm not, I have never, well, no, tell a lie. I have been to St. Vincent years ago. I'm aiming to go back again, but that is my home. And it's nice to see that other people who are from other parts of the world are helping my home. And my heart goes out to the people from Haiti as well. And if there's any clothes they need, as I said, we have loads of clothes. I got 12 bags donated from one guy. I haven't even looked at that yet, but I'm sure we could do a barrel of clothes.
Oh,
I know that,
definitely.
you know, I know they probably need food, but right now we could definitely do a barrel of kiddies' clothes, books, pens, pencils, whatever they need in that respect, and toiletries and nappies. We've got loads of those. So if that's what they need, I'm happy to send a barrel. I know that Denise and Hetty
Oh
wouldn't
yeah, no
mind.
problem.
Okay, one
It's
barrel
a
for
done
now. We're
deal.
going to send it to them, and we could use that some of the money that was donated for St. Vincent. We could do a barrel to send to
Exactly.
Haiti.
Because
So
we're
I'm
all
happy.
one. We're all one. Our
We
struggle
are all
is
one,
all our
definitely.
struggles, you know?
Yeah,
So
you know, if one of us cry, we all cry.
we all cry.
And
Exactly.
right now we
That's
need to
how
start
it should be.
celebrating. And
Beautiful.
it's so lovely to see that we are doing it on this lovely evening. You know, we've done this for 2 hours and that's gone by so quickly. But you
Yeah.
know, people have donated, people have sent their prayers, their congratulations or whatever. So please, thank you. And on behalf of the people I'm helping, thank you so much for your support. It's well appreciated.
Thank you for the works you're doing as well, my sis. Someone in the chat was asking for the details for Haiti. It's on the screen. His name, the brother's name, who's out there doing the works, who's our contact on the ground, who was featured on my radio show recently, who sends me regular pictures and videos of what they're doing. His name is Jean Clebert, Eloius, and he's in Haiti on the ground. His phone number is there. You might need to do a +1 if you actually want to give him a call. But after donating, please make sure that you message him, let him know your name, the amount that you've sent, and any reference number that there may be. There are 2 babies right now who are in need of emergency treatment. He needs about $200 to take them from the village where he is to transport them to the emergency center in Port-au-Prince. Okay, and he's been doing a phenomenal job. Him and his team have been doing a phenomenal job. When he rang up my show this morning to give us an update, he said that he rescued 7 people. They rescued 7 people from a collapsed school building. Wow, 10 days or so it is now since the earthquake, and those people were trapped there all this time. There was even flooding, but somehow they managed to survive. Wow, wow, wow. Our people are strong. We are resilient people indeed. So if you can give to our brother in Haiti as well, please, please do. Sister Afrijamo, lovely comment there. It says that Sister Shanice and panel, thank you all for a great show and for always wanting to help our people. We very much appreciate all your efforts. Enough respect. Enough respect to you as well, Sister Afrijamo. Please put that message at the bottom of the video. Everybody in the chat that's been messaging, please put your message in the bottom of the video as well. That way people coming to the channel will see your message and will read it and then decide to watch the show. So please put a message in the bottom of the, in the description under the video that says, please watch, please help the people of Haiti, please help the people of St. Vincent. Watch this video and find out how you can help. You know, family, a few years back, it was a dream to be able to reach local people on the ground, to be able to give them my money rather than have to go through these charities who I knew were squandering the money and would not be using that money for the good of our people. And here we are now, a few years down the road, and our prayers have been answered. We are in contact with great people who are doing an amazing job, and they're not taking anything for themselves. Okay, so we give thanks to our panel. We're over time, but let me just allow Dr. Abu, Sister Sheila, and Hedy as well, just 2 minutes to give some closing remarks. Dr. Abu.
Well, once again, I have to rise up the Empress because I'm take on a sector. You see, there's 3 sectors: the public, the private, and the voluntary. And without the voluntary sector, society would have collapsed immediately. Yeah. So we all, as the sister said, it takes a village to raise a child. But how old is the child of the village? We always say from the womb to the tomb. Mm-hmm. So we give thanks. We give thanks to you, Sister Shanice, and we give thanks to all the Empress them that share this platform and to the audience,
Honor and respect. Honor.
Yes. We give not because we have much. We give because we know what it's like not to have. Budum.
Budum. Rise up, Dr. Abu. I love that. We give not because we have much to give, but because we know what it is not to have. Beautiful words, Dr. Abu. Ashe. Sister Sheila.
Yes, beautiful words, Dr. Abu. Whenever anyone stops me to ask for fare, I try my best to give it to them because I know what it feels like to be stranded. So I give thanks, my people, for the people in the audience that have been here, that have taken the time. Your energy goes a long way into making us further our cause. For the ones that have donated, thank you very much. It is those practical help, again, that we need for our people. And for our sisters here that are doing the physical, grueling work for our people in St. Vincent and in Haiti, again, I celebrate you over and over again. As Dr. Abu said, the voluntary sector is very important. And sometimes it is like a thankless task. Mm-hmm. It is not thankless. It is not thankless. From the human side, it may look thankless, but from the ancestral side, from the spiritual side, it is a thing that opens so many blessings upon you and upon your family. So I give thanks to you. I celebrate you. We see your hard work, and it is reaping fruits. It is yielding a very big bounty. So I give thanks, and I say, my people, onwards and upwards we go. I give thanks.
One love. We give thanks to you as well, Sister Sheila. And let's hear some final words from our sister Hedy. Sister Hedy, are you there? Maybe she's frozen.
Frozen, yeah.
Oh dear. Reminds me of that advert. Attack goes back. There's about 097947. Okay, someone's asked me to post my bank account details in the chat. I will do that. And if you do make a payment into my account, please make sure you say whether it's for Haiti or for St. Vincent. Okay, so that, and the amount as well that you want to go to each. And I'll put my phone number in there as well, so that you can message me and let me know that you have actually made a payment into the account. Alternatively, you can email me, and I will send you the details via email. So as we close, let me thank everybody, that has given. We have 33 donors now. We are up. We were up from 5 donors when we started this morning on the Big G. We took that up to 14 donors, and we're now up to 33 donors. 10 people have shared. Please, if you made a donation, please do share as well, and encourage people, to give. Let them know that they're giving into safe hands. And so to everybody that has given so far, we thank you so much. I will revisit this when we come back next strong, so that, you know, I can give credit and recognition where credit is due to those who have given. And as I've said, you know, every little really does help. So I want to thank you all, you wonderful family in the audience. Thank you so much. There's 112 of you, so we've still got many more of you to give a little. Please do. Every miko meka moko, you know, one quarter full basket. Rise up yourself, as you've heard them. Can't depend on the government. And we want to develop a relationship with our sisters on the ground, yeah? With Sister Anne-Marie, Sister Denise, and Sister Hedy, yeah? We want to build up a relationship with you all. So keep in touch with us. Keep us posted on progress. You know, send me the videos so I can show the people in the audience the videos of what our people get with the money that they've donated. Okay? Thank you so much. And thank you, Sister Afrijamo. Yes, please do give us a like before you leave. Sister Shanice out of here for now. All being well, be back next strong. Panel members, my resident panel members, and my esteemed guests, thank you all so much. More love, more power, more voodoo.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.